Okay, welcome back to my channel. Uh, so as you can see, we're going to be starting a new chapter today. That's called Biological Molecules. And I hope you're all doing well. Let's get started. We'll try to cover like 4 SLOs. Maybe I'll make a part 2 if the video gets too long. So the first one is define biochemistry and biological molecules. The second one is state the chemical composition of protoplasm. The third one is differentiate between organic and inorganic molecules. And the fourth one is differentiate among covalent, ionic bond, and hydrogen bond. So we're going to be studying this in just a moment. Okay, so let's move on to our first SLO, biochemistry. So biochemistry is basically the branch of biology that deals with the biological molecules. And what are the biological molecules? Those are the kind of molecules that make up our bodies, the living beings. Like you can see a picture of DNA molecule, picture of fat molecules, the saturated and unsaturated ones. You can see adenosine triphosphate molecule in here, like the third picture. So that's let me show you another molecule. This is the protein molecule. Just so you can get a basic idea of what biomolecules are basically. So you can see the primary structure, that's just a straight chain. And secondary structure has like it's kind of twisted. It's kind of is making temporary bonds with each other. And then tertiary structure is like basically a tangled structure, really tangled structure. Then we can move on to the composition of protoplasm. So let's give you a basic overview. So we've got water, protein, carbohydrates, lipids, nucleic acids, and inorganic ions. As you can see, the protoplasm is about 70 to 90% of water. The proteins are the most abundant organic molecules in protoplasm, and they play various roles, just providing structure, catalyzing chemical reactions, and transporting molecules. The carbohydrates are another important organic molecule found in the protoplasm, and they serve as a source of energy and also play a role in cell structure. Like you can see the plant cell wall is made up of cellulose, right? A cellulose is a kind of carbohydrate. And let's see lipids. Lipids are essentially the components of cell membranes, also serve as a source of energy. You can see the adipose tissues in our body. They're made up of lipids. They've got lipids in them. Okay, then comes the nucleic acids. The nucleic acids are like DNA and RNA. The full form of DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid, and RNA is ribonucleic acid. They carry the genetic information and are responsible for for transmitting genetic traits from one generation to the next. And if you think about RNA, it's also responsible for making proteins, like creating proteins. And then we have the inorganic ions. There are the inorganic ions like sodium, potassium, calcium, which are involved in various cellular processes, including the cell signaling and muscle contraction. You've probably heard about the muscle contraction thing in your biology classes. That muscle contraction happens because of the calcium ions. Okay, then we got some more information. There are 25 elements in our but there are 25 elements out of 92 naturally occurring elements, and these 25 elements are like the bio elements. These will make up all the living beings. They will be inside the living organisms. Like the human body has like 16 elements that can be classified on the basis of their proportions in organisms. There are three kinds of animals found in our bodies: the major elements, the trace elements, and the minor elements. Not just our bodies, but the bodies of all living things. So the major elements are the six commonest bioelements that make up 99% of the protoplasm. The trace elements are like really less, in a really less amount. The minor elements are found less than 1%. For example, there's iron. It's a minor element. It's needed by all forms of life, and other are required by certain species. Um, just a second. I'm sorry. So iron is not a minor element. It's basically a trace element. This is like an error in the slide, so please ignore that. Okay, so moving on to the next slide. Bioelements are combined with each other and can form thousands of different biomolecules, which can be inorganic and organic, carbs, proteins, and nucleic acids. Let me show you the proportion of various biomolecules in bacterial and mammalian cells. So we've got water, that's 70% in both kind of cells. Protein is 15% in bacterial cells and 18% in mammalian cells. Carbs and lipids and RNA and DNA, other organic molecules, and organic ions, is just to give you a little overview. Okay. There are four fundamental biomolecules. There are carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, nucleic acids. So the carbohydrates are basically found in the cytoplasm, and they will provide fuel for the metabolic activities of the cell. The proteins are found in membranes, ribosomes, cytoskeleton, and the enzymes of cells. The lipids are found in the membranes and the cytoplasm of the cell, and it provides reserve energy source. And it provides the shape and protection and insulates the cell. Now, what's nucleic acid? The nucleic acids are two kind of nucleic acids, DNA and RNA. The DNA is in chromosomes, and the RNA is in nucleoplasm. Like the cell has a cytoplasm, but the nucleus has the nucleoplasm. Okay, RNA is also found in cytoplasm, and it takes genetic information from DNA, and it plays a role in protein synthesis. Okay, so we'll discuss the next two SLOs in the next video. Thank you so much for listening to me. Bye bye. Take care.